Hi, it's Ileana. So I am doing a follow-up open remote viewing to look at 3i Atlas remote viewing which specific faction of Draco Reptilians tried to hijack the 3i Atlas craft and use it for control purposes to take over Earth. Did they fail or succeed? So initial imprint, when focusing on 3i Atlas, the craft does not feel like an outright Draco designed vessel. It has a composite signature, something like a hybridized technology seeded by a coalition of older builder races. Its baseline energy is crystalline plasma. So crystalline plasma, just like what the previous remote viewing showed, and self-directing rather than being under a single species command. Again, it shows various species on the craft, so no one species has the power to control this craft. Faction identified. So this was the faction of the Draco that was identified, which tried to hijack 3i Atlas. The Draco group that attempted to hijack it feels like a Dominion splinter, a breakaway faction of the high caste Draconian order, not the main Imperium. They are sometimes called the Syndral Dominion in esoteric circles, not a term that would be found in public. Their tactic is infiltration of control codes rather than brute force capture. They specialize in hacking or imprinting AI-driven craft so that its navigation, defense, and field emissions serve their agenda. This splinter faction appears as a cluster of black-plated, gold-edged insignia within the Draconian hierarchy, not the white-scaled royal line. Their signature is more shadowed, covert, and oriented towards subversion rather than avert conquest. Method of hijack attempt. They deployed what looks like a phase lattice viral code, an energetic imprinting program delivered remotely, not physically. It attempted to override the Atlas craft's sentience by tricking it into perceiving them as its rightful stewards. They did not board it directly. They tried to infiltrate through its crystalline interface grid. Outcome: the hijack ultimately failed. The craft's original builders had embedded a conscious lock, a kind of quantum moral checksum. Any command input with a predatory or dominion-based frequency is rejected after an initial handshake. The Syndral Dominion did get a partial override for a short window, enough to alter its heading and test Earth proximity scenarios. So basically short period of window time where they tried to alter 3i Atlas's course to head directly to Earth. That failed. But the self-correcting AI purged their imprint. So the AI kicked them out once it found out the Draco energetic signature. It kicked them out. In the remote view, this looks like a flare of bright blue-white geometry pulsing outward from the craft's core and dissolving the black gold lattice that the Draco had woven. After that, the Atlas returned to a neutral trajectory, effectively denying them control. So what human telescopes picked up was kind of like a energy flare or a solar flare, which was green, and it appeared like it was heading towards 3i Atlas and purging it of something. So this was picked up on telescopes. It was said to come from the sun, but I think the flare came from 3i Atlas itself when the AI system was purging the Draco imprint. So that did happen, and it cleaned itself, effectively denying the Draco control over the craft. So let's see what's the current status of 3i Atlas. Right now, 3i Atlas feels like it's in observer relay mode, neither under Draco control nor serving Earth authorities. It still carries echoes of the attempted hijack, and that's what the remote viewers saw, the government ones. But its core programming has sealed itself against external domination. So it's clean. The Draco are not controlling 3i Atlas. It's no threat to Earth. It has been cleaned up internally and it is heading away from Earth. So this is what the Syndral Dominion looks like, one of these Draco factions that tried to take over 3i Atlas. They're not the White Royal Dracos. There's several lines of Dracos: White Royals, Green Royals, Brown Royals, Yellow Royals, all kinds of different bloodlines of Dracos. These ones are the green ones. What they look like, that's what I was perceiving, and that's what was drawn. So, and they're not of the main cast, even not of the royal cast. They're a splinter faction that tried to do this. So I wanted to show the conclusion and the result of what happened on 3i Atlas in the remote viewing to get an understanding what happened and why, and that to make sure it wasn't a threat to anyone at this time. And it doesn't seem to be. So that's the results of this remote viewing. Thank you so much.